It's the idea of a public interest group called Citizens for an Alternative Tax System. And joining us here today to tell us more about it is Jim Concorso. Jim, great to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
Good to be here.
And Jim, for our viewers who aren't really that familiar with the idea of a national retail sales tax, be a little bit more specific.
Well, it works very much like the New Jersey sales tax, except for that it's 15%, and it protects the lower income by giving you a break in the FICA taxes up to your poverty level. So, for example, if you're a family of 4, the poverty level is $16,000, and 15% of that is $2,400, so your FICA tax would be reduced $2,400. So effectively, you're not paying the sales tax until you spend above your poverty level.
Now, how does that sales tax, there's been a lot of talk over the years with Steve Forbes running, he's introduced a flat tax, so to speak. How are the two different?
They're very different for 3 reasons. Number 1 is freedom. When you have a flat tax, you still have a powerful organization known as the IRS that can seize your property and throw you out of your home without a court order. That's the first problem with it. The second thing is that when you have an income tax, you do not increase the number of payers, no matter what you do to it, even if you flatten it. And by doing that, that means somebody wins and somebody loses. Somebody's going to pay more, somebody's going to pay less. With a sales tax, you dramatically increase the number of payers because of the fact that people who aren't filing now, people who are bookies and prostitutes and the like, would all pay the same 15% sales tax you and I do when they go into stores. So everybody who's filing now would pay less under this system.
Now we talk about this 15% tax. Isn't there a way to beat this? Let's say, for an example, I own a furniture store. Someone comes in and buys something under this plan. There's a 15% tax, but of course I could always say, pay me cash, and therefore they avoid that 15% tax.
Right. Well, any system can be thwarted, and that's true no matter what you do. But if you look at what the states have done to run their governments, 45 out of 50 states have a retail sales tax, and it's used in some cases as the sole means of earning money, and in other states it's the primary means. Like in New Jersey, almost everything New Jersey runs on comes from that 6% sales tax. So they chose it because it's easier to oversee than an income tax. Right now we have 120 million people filing personal income taxes in this country, but there's only 20 million retailers. So it's easier, you cut down by a factor of 6 the number of people the government has to oversee and look at to make sure the right amount's being paid.
And finally tonight, because we are running out of time, what would you say the top 3 things wrong with the system we have now are?
Number 1 is that it's un-American, because even with the new tax reform bill we've got, you still can have your property taken away and seized without a court order by the signature of one person. That's the district director of the IRS. The second thing wrong with it is that it's a way that politicians can pit people against other people. I'm going to curry favor with this group of people to get votes from them, and I'm going to punish these people. And that makes Washington a little too arrogant and powerful. And the third problem with it is that it's too complicated for you to do yourself. And even so-called tax experts can give you different answers if you go to different people, and yet you're still responsible if you make a mistake, and that's just wrong.
Okay, Jim Concorso, thank you so much for joining us. Unfortunately, we are out of time. I wish we had some more time. This is a very interesting topic. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll have you back sometime.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. And that will do it for this edition of Cablevision's News Central 6. For the entire news team, I'm Scott Bruder. Thank you so much for joining us.